So y'all know that those new PS5s, the new Xboxes, they just dropped, right? And there's a lot of hype for them, man. I mean, people are lining up around the street. I've seen people running through malls. People are getting robbed outside of GameStops and Walmarts and Targets. You try to get it online, man, you go and you wait for the time that the website says that they will be available, and they're pretty much instantly sold out. Like, they're so hard to get your hands on right now that most people pretty much have no shot. Now, I was extremely fortunate, right? I actually got the pre-order one, and I also got it. It's pretty cool, right? But I'm gonna say this right now, it's not cool enough to pay over $1,000 for, man. And that's exactly what some of these people are out here doing, and I for the life of me, can't understand why people would do this. But then I come to realize, right, that, well, basic supply and demand is at work here. So basically what's going on is, especially with the PS5, there's like a stocking issue, right? For some reason, Sony didn't make enough PS5s to handle the demand that was going to be there. A lot of people are saying it's because of the pandemic, but I mean, come on now. It seems like if that was the case, right, and you can't sell enough consoles when it's supposed to be out, maybe just postpone the release? That way people can get what they're trying to get, right? That's just the way that I thought it. I thought this was going to be something that was pretty simple, but no, it was not. So with this stocking issue, a bunch of people have taken advantage of it, and they have become scalpers. Now, a big thing with scalpers, people have wondered. I've been asked, even by my dad, he was like, how are these people getting all of these? My dad plays video games and everything too. I don't think he really understands a lot about scalping. I mean, I don't know why, but I guess he didn't get what was going on. So I explained this to him. And that's when I came to realize, right, like, this is an actual problem. Like, this is something that's really going on that's significant, and I don't even for the life of me understand why. So basically, what people are doing, right, they get these bots. A lot of them were actually designed for, like, shoe and clothing releases, but they've been modified in order to grab as many PS5s as possible. They'll take this bot, they go to an online retailer, and the moment that it drops, they basically spam the servers with a bunch of purchase requests. And since a bot can do infinitely more, basically, of these transactions way quicker than a human can, they pretty much snag up like 99.5% of the stock because they can just grab it all with a simple command. And that's the reason that they've been selling out so fast, man. And as someone who is like really into shoes, like I'm into fashion and stuff, I'm into clothing, obviously in shoes and stuff like that, there's limited drops and limited releases, like Yeezy and all that, right? You end up buying a lot of it, a lot of the time, on resale, especially if you're not one of these people who sits there and waits for this to come out. So I already knew that scalpers were a problem, man, and I already knew that people fall for scalpers pretty heavily. So what I did not expect, though, was for scalpers to somehow literally outpace most major retailers. So obviously, your PS5, you should be able to buy one from like Best Buy, Walmart, GameStop, Target, maybe like a Meijer, EB Games, your local game store, whatever, right? Those are your major retailers. Of course, there's the online ones like Amazon and whatnot as well, but I mean, that's beside the point, right? Like, you should be able to go to a major retailer and have trust that you can buy that product, right? Well, there's a PS5 scalper group that apparently has more online stock than most major retailers. Take a look at this. So according to this, a PS5 scalper group managed to acquire almost 3,500 PS5 consoles, showing off just how broken the online ordering system currently is. Now, keep in mind, we're talking about a product, it's like $500, right? And then on top of that, there's a limited quantity. The stock is not doing too hot. They did not get enough of these out to meet the demand. 3,500 PS5s it's an insane amount of PlayStations, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're trying to store that somewhere, you gotta have like a warehouse, you gotta have like a whole storage lot. You can't just be putting this in the basement at your crib. That's a lot of PS5s, man. And, it's kind of sad that this is a situation that it's even really happening, because especially with the unlimited hype and the very limited quality, or quantity, I should say, you should have thought, Sony, that this was going to be a problem, that scalping was going to be a problem. And it's nothing that's even being addressed, right? Like, ever since the PS5 came out, weeks ago at this point, Sony has yet to somehow address this issue. And it's mind-boggling to me that they're just willing to lose out on all of this, right? Because the demand is so high that these PS5s are getting resold for upwards of like $1,100, over doubling your money on a product like this. Because once again, it's like $500, I think, for like the disc edition, like $400 for the digital only. People are out here really doubling their money on these PS5s because people just don't want to wait. And that's what's really sad about this whole thing, I think. Because when you think about this, right, like, who's buying this? Well, I think there's a couple key demographics of people who are falling victim to these scalpers. Number one is people who just can't patiently wait for a PS5. For some reason, they need it that badly. It's a little bit more understandable. Like if you, I don't know, if you're a gaming YouTuber or you're a streamer or something like that, man, it's a little bit more understandable to pay $1,100 for a PS5. Personally, I would try not to. And at a certain point, bro, like if you're a big enough like streamer or I guess like YouTuber or whatever, they'll be sending you a PS5. I'm quite certain of it, you know? I find it hard to believe that Sony would not take that free publicity of getting these massive streamers and gaming YouTubers a PS5 day one for them to, you know, play on and review it and show everybody to generate even more hype. Now, another major demographic here that I see is since Christmas is coming up literally in less than a month now, I feel like there's probably a lot of people out there that are buying these PS5s because they can't get them anywhere else and they want their kids to have a good Christmas. There's probably some sad parent out there right now, like their kid is just clawing at their waist. Dad, I want a PS5. Dad, I want a PS5. And, you know, he's sitting there fucking, you know, working away 40 hours a week at his desk job. He hates his life, right? He's considering just ending it all. You know, he's just sitting there and he's like, you know what? Well, I gotta buy the kid the PS5, man. I can't let little Billy down or else he's gonna hate me like my wife and everyone else, right? Like, that's sad to say, but like, there are probably parents out there that are having to go through this shit because they want their kids to have a good Christmas, you know what I'm saying? And even if they gotta drop a band on a PS5, they're willing to do so. Now, as a matter of fact, I want to show something. I've been seeing this on Twitter. I can't verify the accuracy of everything here, but take a look at this. Fuck your feelings. Digital 900, disc 1100. Tap in. Dude is talking like he's a drug dealer, bro. You're selling scalped PlayStation 5s. Let's please settle it down a little bit here. But, I mean, I guess something came of this, right? Because according to this here, let's go ahead and take a look. Apparently, he has another load incoming. Edit, he was doxxed. Edit 2, he apparently lives only 38 minutes away from a man that claims he is about to rob him. Results show that the gun, a mask image that he shared was legitimately taken by him. Edit 3, he has shown his GPS app he is currently driving to his house. Edit 4, he was robbed and he deleted his Twitter account. So, I'm not saying, look, okay, how do I say this? Robbing people is not a great thing, right? Like, you just shouldn't be proud of, like, robbing people, running up in their shit, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, dog, what the fuck did you expect to happen to you? You know what I'm saying, man? Like, what the fuck did you think was gonna happen when you post, I mean, you look at the image, when you posted dozens of PlayStation 5s, knowing damn good and well how high the demand is, bro, you might as well have went out to like one of them GameStops where people are waiting in line, right? And just fucking flashed PS5s. You know, fuck your feelings, y'all. Tap in, get this 1100. Bro, I'm just letting you know, like, you should have fucking known better. You know what I'm saying, bro? Especially if you're old enough to be scalping something, you gotta have some money, right? You gotta have a little bit of bread up to even put the initial investment in on all this. I'm assuming you're not 13, you know? You should have never have posted this. You should have never have put this up for people to see. Because people out here are demons, man. You know what I'm saying? They're out here doxing people for all kinds of shit. They're out here running up in people's shit for all kinds of things, man. You would never catch me exposing the fact that I had dozens of PS5s just chilling at the crib. I genuinely think I would rather walk out into the middle of the street and flex a $100,000 chain and throw it up and down in the air, you know, skip rope with it. I think I would literally rather do that than to be out here fucking flexing this. So, you know, with all this going on, right, you know, there's a big debate going on. Is this moral? Is this acceptable? Is it even legal to do this? Well, believe it or not, scalping is actually illegal, but only in certain circumstances. It really only has to be like an emergency item, right? You know, and there usually has to be like a disaster declared. So like, let's say, I don't know, a fucking tornado comes through and blows the entire city away. You can't have somebody coming out here, you know, like, oh, hey, I got food and water and medical supplies for 80 times the markup value. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to a PlayStation 5, there's nothing really that dictates, you know, scalping being illegal. In fact, like I said, if you're aware of anything going on in the shoe game, you know shoes get resold above the MSRP all the time, right? If you've ever tried to buy a pair of Yeezys or even like some limited Nike or Jordan or Adidas releases, If you're not there with a bot or lucky, you're not buying it at MSRP. You're not buying that shit at retail. You are going to be getting it from a scalper. But the thing is this isn't even really like shoes, because like with those limited releases, they never come back around. This is a fucking PS5. Like they're gonna have this out for 8 years, and it's gonna still be the main console for 8 years, bro. Like you can really just wait a few months. But I really don't think these kinds of scalping things are moral most of the time. Because like I said, it's families out here trying to buy these for children for Christmas. And, they're really breaking the bank to try and make sure their kids got a good Christmas. And unfortunately, some people just don't have the self-control to wait a little bit for something that they want so badly, And yeah, that is their problem. But like at the end of the day, bro, I understand chasing the bag and things like that. But man, personally speaking, I would never scalp stuff. I would never buy 50 PS5s and take advantage of people and a broken system to try and make a little bit of money. That's not really cool. So, with that being said, man, fuck scalpers. Don't buy from them, okay? Do not buy anything from a scalper because, honestly, it's funnier to watch them lose their money doing shit like this than it is, the enjoyment of getting that PS5. Like, you really can just wait a little bit and they will eventually stock them back up and you will get one. And you also don't reward shitty people doing shitty things. So with that being said, though, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shop Opti down below. Thank you to my channel members. Your support helps my channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, not scalping, and signing out.